A camera is a time machine, but how do we feel the time in a film? How do we interact with it? In this video, we will talk about the aesthetic of disturbance in Wong Kar-wai's three masterpieces films, In the Mood for Love, Chungking Express, and Fallen Angel. Wong Kar-wai was born in 1958 in Shanghai, China. He moved from Shanghai to Hong Kong when he was 5 years old. His mother gave him a cinematic upbringing. He studied graphic design. After that, he tends to work on a television network. Then he turned to writing scripts for serials, and after that, he moved on to directing. His first work was As Tears Go By, which was released in 1988. The film received a resounding success in Hong Kong. He continued his directing career until his latest film date, The Grandmaster, in 2013. Wong Kar-wai has a history full of success. The most important are the Best Director at Cannes Film Festival for the film Happy Together, and the award of Best Director in Hong Kong for the year 1991. As An Lee said when he introduced Wong Kar-wai at the Museum of Moving Image in 2008, his film touched us at a subconscious level. Sometimes, he took 3 years traveling in the country and making interviews with people to make the film
in the most authentic way, as authentic as possible.
The shuttered time is one of the main elements which Wong Kar-wai uses in his films a lot. At the level of individual scene, by using special camera techniques, and on a broader narrative level, such as In the Mood for Love. It's about looking through the shattered glass of time. This movie was released in 200. Mr. Chow, played by Tony Leung, and Mrs. Chan, played by Maggie Chong, rent a room in the same building in Hong Kong. They discovered that her husband and his wife are cheating on them with each other. They agree not to betray their spouses, but they are drawn to each other. At the end of the movie, their paths are completely separate. They are in the mood for love, but not at the right time or place for it. Wong Kar-wai is an artist. He presents a love story between two people, makes the characters caught between failed marriage, and creates a conflict between the characters, and then refers through them to political events that the region is going through. As he did in Chungking Express, he debated the political identity confusion experienced in Hong Kong through the story of two couples. Actually, the story of the film was supposed to revolve around three couples, but he returned the story of one of them into an independent movie, which is Fallen Angel. Chungking Express begins with police number 223 tracing a criminal who has just separated from his girlfriend and is suffering from love. In the process, the movie progresses as he is influenced by a mysterious woman with a yellow wig. Later, the woman is the yellow wing as the police officer meet in a bar and are told what happened between them. Then the movie jumps to another story. Again, there is a police officer in the story who has just separated from his lover and suffers from love. There is a cafe where the police number 663 visits every day. In this cafe, the ex-girlfriend of police leaves a letter and the keys of the house. The new clerk of the booth likes the police and starts sneaking into the police house. Later, the movie talks about the rapprochement of these two. The narrative, which has been centered around two unrelated stories that maybe won't connect until to the end, is against the mainstream standard, which is based on the structure of three-act story. As an extension of the previous film, Wong Kar-wai directed Fallen Angel in 1995. in which the actor Takashi Kaneshiro played the role of the thief. He is the same actor who played the role of policeman in the previous film. The movie talks about a professional hitman named Leon, played by Wang Ming, and his assistant Michelle, played by Ayand. Although they rarely see each other, but a relationship of administration appears on Michelle only. Leon meets a woman with short blonde hair, and they have a short relationship. On the other hand, the criminal played by Takashi, who lost the ability to speak after eating an expired pineapple, is trying to get money illegally by stealing stores at night, by pretending to work there. Coincidence gathers him several times with a girl named Charlie. She is trying to return to her ex-boyfriend Johnny, and while helping her, he falls in love with her. But after some time, he knew that she still loves her boyfriend. After months, he met her. She's a flight attendant now, and she seems like she forgot him. Meanwhile, Lane decided to quit his job and end his relationship with Michelle and the other girl. Takashi steals a camera to take a video of his father to see after his death. Takashi and Michelle met by chance at a restaurant and asked him to take her home and ride the bike together. As we notice in the movie Chungking Express, a very crowded world. It's a world of a dense, multicultural city. There is life and continuous activity. Most of the scenes were shot during the day to correspond with the vitality of the movie. As Barry Jenkins said, he is taking interiority and translating it to the screen. The Fallen Angel is the reversed version. As for the movie Fallen Angel, the exact opposite happened. As Wong Kar-wai said, they are in the same place, but one is a day and the other is night. An empty and very isolated world, as most of the film was shot at night. To emphasize what Wong Kar-wai said, the balance between elegy and brutality. Wong Kar-wai's films are often about love, time, and memory. Through these stories, he debates larger issues such as Greer Bateson said, the concept of allegory, reflectionism, and postmodernism have found a great fit in Wong's themes and characters. Most of these stories reflect Wong's thoughts about psychological and political concepts. As Michelle Aranda said, he reflects on the psychopolitical tension in our world, as he did in the film In the Mood for Love, which we can touch on the relation between Mr. Chow and Mrs. Chan. As he emphasized in the Chungking Express and Fallen Angel in the first half of the film, he focused on expiration dates, which according to Wong Kar-wai's claim, it refers to the sensitivity to the idea of expiration. Since the film was made in 1994, which 3 years before the handover, and the concept of chance is also taking a place in his films. In these 3 films, almost all the characters met each other by chance. At first glance in Chungking Express, when you see Bridget Lane wearing a yellow wig and the appearance that, according to Tarantino and many other sources, said Bridget Lane is Wong's Gloria, quoted from John Cassavetes' film. It added universality to the film, which can deceive you that the film is dyed with a Western tint. But then you discover that the film emphasized the political identity confusion of Hong Kong at that time, when Hong Kong was going through a cultural in-betweenness, when the communist East meets the capitalist West. Because Wong used a unique techniques, which is step printing and undercranking, which shoots a lower frame rate and then duplicates or triplicates it. Slow motion, stretching scenes in time, functions as metaphor or frozen. Manipulating time through step printing means that the focal point of the shots appears to be in slow motion, while those around them appears to be moving in fast time, unclear and busy. This author's signatures also contributes to the recurring themes of his films. The theme of isolation. The character seems detached from the world around him. He explores the idea of loneliness, exploring and subverting the binary opposition of unity and connection. To reverse postmodernism in his films, Chungking Express and Fallen Angels, also by putting the city as the main element, as he said in his interview with Hanong, and by manipulating the time and the speed of the film. As Bitson said, Wong's characteristic visual scheme masters sensuous appeal, intended to enthrall and seduce, with perspective obfuscation, designed to disorient and frustrate. By contrast, slow-motion scenes shot by slow-motion technique in The Mood for Love added regular harmony and artistic to the film, and highlighted the mood of people floating in the sea of emotions, and the main character's internal emotion time. The slow motion highlights the importance of this moment in particular, and makes us question the value of every moment in our life. Briefly, the speed and narrative of Wong Kar-wai is an original language to emphasize the uncertainty of time and the disturbance, or in the words of Grace Bitson, the aesthetic of disturbance.